Hey everybody, it's been a while. I'm back again, and this time I'm hopefully back to stay. And I'm going to start you guys off with where I've been, what I've been up to, and how so many things have changed for me. Let's go ahead and get started right away here. The first thing, let me just pull this up on my screen. So basically, if I look like I'm the crypt keeper, I've just kind of come off of about 4 days of being really sick, and I feel kind of crappy. So my voice is still coming back. My hearing, I don't think it was COVID. My kids were tested because they had it before me and gave it to me, and they weren't. They didn't get tested positive. So whatever it was very nasty, and I don't wish it on anybody. So so let's go ahead. I want to talk about where I'm at, what I'm trying to accomplish, and how I'm going to get there. And for all intents and purposes, I've kind of feel like I've been lazy, and I thought about it today, and I don't know that I've been lazy at all. I've really been much more efficient with what I do know how to do, and I've really worked hard at the things I don't know how to do to try to make myself better at them, with limited or mild success in some of those areas. So what I've decided to do is to do a new project, and this is the project to get to $1 million. And I don't mean $1 million in revenue. I mean $1 million in net worth. Now, some of you might say that's a great goal. Some of you might already be there. Maybe you have that in your 401ks. You know, the market's been going up for what? How many years now? 12, 13 years straight. So, maybe some of you have this in your savings. I certainly don't. But that's okay. Everybody has a different journey. And, it's just my passion to do e-commerce and to do this type of thing. And my goal is to get to 1 million in net worth. Now, for those of you that have watched, might know that I did recently sell my business back in April. I don't want to get into all the specifics of that, but I made a pretty good chunk of change. I was able to pay a lot of debts down. I was able to pay off our home, and I was able to put money towards new business ventures, which I'm going to talk about today. I don't want to get into specifics, but I will certainly tell you when I reach my goal of 1 million, or over that goal, hopefully. Um, and I want to complete this in the next 3 years. That's my goal. It's not going to be easy, and there's a lot of challenges, and I'm going to talk about all those very briefly here, and then I can get into more depth in another video. So let's go ahead and get started. So, what I've deemed this project, it's Project 1M, right? Project to a million. Now, why a million? Um, when I was a kid, like, obviously money was worth a lot more. If you had $1 million, like, you had made it. Now, clearly, if you have $1 million today, it's a lot of money, but you can't retire necessarily on that. Maybe if you're older, you can. Depending on where you live, there's a lot of factors there, right? If you have other people, so there's a lot of different factors. So what might be good for one person might not work for another. Now, if you go down to South America and you retire on a few $100,000, you might be able to do that at a certain age. But my point is, I kind of arbitrarily chose 1 million just because it's always kind of been a goal. It's a neat kind of goal for me, reach 1 million, right? Where the reality of it is, so many of you will reach 1 million just by working and or being an entrepreneur or whatever you do, just by saving, compounding interest, that type of thing. So I'm not saying this is the be all end all number, but it's just what I decided to choose. So anyway, without further ado, what I've done first, and you'll see that that's the first one there. I've done the Done For You program. Let me touch real briefly on this. I've had a lot of questions. How's it going? How are they doing? I gotta be honest, they haven't really done a ton yet. Now, maybe they're doing a ton in the background, and I just don't know. What I do know is I signed up in. It's been. I'm trying to think. Since May, June, July, August, September. So it hasn't been a ton of time, but they do have a product picked. Um, they've said they're having challenges with bringing products into the country. Obviously, with the backup in shipping, as many of you know, we're talking there's 60, 70 ships or more off the coast of LA and then Long Beach just trying to get into port. So yeah, it's been very challenging. The price of shipping containers has gone from maybe 3, 4 thousand bucks maybe a year ago or so up to 20,000 plus in some cases. It's been really crazy. Shipping has gone bonkers, but That's part of it. They're managing it. I think they have some plans for that. Uh, Now, why did I do this program? What is Done For You? It's Done For You. It's just one dime Done For You program. You'll see Seth Kniep promoting it. Now, he has a bunch of other, basically, project managers under that manage your product. The guy I have is great. Patrick, I really believe in him. I believe in his team. I'm just going to try to be patient as I can. As much as you want them to go and you want updates. So it has admittedly been a little frustrating. I do talk to other people that do the one dime program, and they're equally as frustrated just with the communication. We wish there was just a little more communication. I think they're more frustrated than I am. I'm actually, I think, being pretty cool about it. Yeah, so I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to let it go. Now, the way it works, at least with the basics, you put 30,000 up front, and then you give another 30,000 for 3 separate products. So it's 10,000 per product. Now, I don't know what's going to change, if anything, with that, considering the pricing and shipping has gone bonkers. I'm okay with that. I understand it because I do run my own Amazon company as well, and I have sold one, so I am familiar with the process. So anyway, that's how it's going. There's not really too much to discuss. There is a product picked out. I'm excited about it, and I'm just going to wait and see what they do, and hopefully, within due time here, it'll launch and we'll be successful there. So I will keep you updated just on the basics, but I can't really get into detail for obvious reasons. I can't get into the product details or anything like that. It just wouldn't be good for the company. The second one, so the reason I did that is because they can create a business aside from mine, right? So because I had the money from the business sale, I'm able to invest that, so they can create a separate Amazon business. And in the meantime, number two, I started a new Amazon business. Now, this has been doing great so far. I will get into the numbers in a later video. I think we surpassed 17K just in the last 30 days. And I say we, I mean me. But I went through another program I had touched on this briefly in my last video a while back, Product Savants. So they pick the product for you. You do pay them a fee. You pay them a 5% royalty. And they pick this winning product for you. Now, they're the best in the business in my mind. They're some of the best in the business. And I would say that also for Seth Kniep. I believe highly in them and him. And I equally believe in these people that came up with this product that I take the market and I do myself. But productsavants.com, you can buy rights to a certain category and you can get those products. Then you also have to pay for the product itself. Again, I'll get into more detail in another video. But the reason I did that was because it is becoming harder than ever to do product research, and I wanted a winner. I wanted something that could potentially be a home run, and I knew they were just great at what they did. That's Kevin King and Steve Simonson. And if you don't know about these guys, check them out. They are, again, in my opinion, some of the best gurus in the business, or I wouldn't even call them gurus, just the most knowledgeable people in e-commerce space. They really have tons of connections and tons of knowledge, and it would just be a shame not to take advantage of that. So I really feel like that gave me a hack, if you will, to be able to get a great product, and I didn't have to do all the legwork to do the research and then just hope I picked a good one. And I gotta tell you, it is crushing it. It's crushing it. I had my ups and downs, I had my doubts, but overall, and again, we'll get into details in a later video, I think we're doing like 26 a day, and I just launched maybe 40 days ago, 45 days ago, something like that. It's been amazing. So we will get into more details there. And that's new Amazon business. The next thing, I have an eBay partnership with a partner. I'm not going to mention who the name of the person is, but he runs about 100 different stores. And he does a superb job. He has 100 or so VAs, 100 or so stores between Amazon and eBay that he helps manage for each individual. And I'm going to do a separate video on all of these, so we'll get into more detail there. But that's been really crazy lately. I think we reached revenue. Now, this is not profit. Revenue of $220,000 a month. That has been really a blessing because that's been bringing in some income. It's probably bringing in about $4,000 a month, but I also have to pay for my virtual assistants, which I also hired. I have 2 of them right now. I'm about to hire 2 more. They can cost anywhere from $300 to $400 to $500 to $600 a month. It just depends on how much you want to pay them and how good they are and what they do. But I'll get into a whole detailed video about that. So once we really get that working and moving, I think that could successfully bring in anywhere from 5 to 15,000 a month in profit, which is amazing. We're not there yet. We're working towards that. With the VAs and everything right now, I'm probably about 3,500 or so a month, but still, that's what a lot of people get paid just for doing work, and I don't have to do a ton with that. And we'll talk about that later in another video. Another thing I tackled, and again, these are all different approaches. I'm trying to do a multi-pronged approach to get to the 1 million, and this is my project 1L. Facebook Marketplace, right? So I took Paul Lipsey's course, great course, really had a lot of information, but it does have quite a few challenges, which I will do a separate video on this as well. It would behoove you to have a virtual assistant to really do the listings for you, but you can only probably list 10 a day to kind of stay off the radar. It does have its challenges. SKUGrid, if you've ever used it, and it's used for eBay a lot, it can help manage the pricing on your Facebook Marketplace items. The problem is there's something called Remote Chrome, and it doesn't seem to be syncing properly and working, so the prices weren't updating, so people were ordering an item when, and this is drop shipping, right? So somebody orders an item for 50 bucks, you Home Depot or whoever you're getting it from might be selling it for 60 now, so now you're going to lose money. So it was not working. I didn't feel comfortable with it. I had to shut it down. It was making sales with very few listings, so there's a huge potential there. And I'll touch more on that when we get into it. But that is temporarily shut down for me. Amazon dropshipping. Now, I'll talk about this in more detail as well. We'll do a separate video on each one of these. The Amazon dropshipping, I'm going to get a separate account for that. Now, you are allowed to have a separate account if you inform Amazon, and it's different stuff than what you're selling. Now, what I'll also talk about, and I'll get into detail about this, is you can actually set up a separate account under a separate LLC with a separate address. So I have a business office address as well as my home address. I have separate LLCs, so I will set up a separate Amazon account specifically for my partner who's working on my eBay store now to do my Amazon dropshipping. And that can be extremely profitable. Some people, as I understand it, are making $5,000 a month or more just on one store. So that can be really profitable. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to take about 6 months to go into effect, simply because you have to have some history, some sales history on there, and I'll talk about that more in that video. The next project, I know, it's a lot, so I guess I haven't been that lazy. I'm starting a photo company for Amazon FBA, Shopify, etc. So basically, what we do is we'll take your pictures for you. If you haven't seen it, I have a little photo set up behind me. And what that is I'm going to be able to take those pictures for you. I'm going to have them edited. I have an editor. And we'll be able to do your lifestyle photos, your front photo, the whole thing. Now, there are some, we don't have models here and such, so we'll have to use stock photos like many do, but it can still look really fantastic. I have it on my current product. The editor did a great job on some of those photos. I did outsource some of those before I started doing this. But yeah, they're really going to be nice and really inexpensive. So if you have a need for Amazon photos right now that you want done inexpensively, I'm talking 100 to 150 bucks, which is really inexpensive for the whole photo spread. I'm doing it just to build up a portfolio. So if you're interested and you do have it, I will tell you that I am completely, and I'll even sign a disclosure if you want, I am completely not interested in stealing anybody's products. I have my own products, my own brands, my own ideas. So I would gladly help you with your photos to build my portfolio, give you a better price, and hopefully make you happy and make you more money with your product. And again, no judgment. I won't even mention anything about your product. I won't even do any research on it, whether I like it or not. It's not for me. That's going to be your product, and we do not get involved with taking anybody's ideas. People are always so worried about that, and for good reason. But yeah, that's not something you have to worry about with our group. We are straight shooters, and again, we already have our own things going. We don't need to. And if I were to happen to be selling the same item, I wouldn't say a word. I would just, move forward with it. And I would do a great job with yours, and I believe in more for everybody. I believe there's room for everybody online. It doesn't have to be I take from you, you take from me. You know, the pie can grow, right? If you do a great job on photos, do a great job with your product, the sky's the limit for so many different categories out there. Anyway, moving on. And if you do want to get in touch with me, fbacommute at gmail.com. FBA, like for sale by Amazon, fbacommute at gmail.com. If any questions or if you want me to touch on a topic, I'd be happy to. The next thing, Shopify. I did a mentorship with the Ecom King, and you might have seen him on YouTube. Now, I didn't do it specifically with him, with one of his guys. His name was Ami. It was really good. He pushed me hard. I hated a lot of it because I was just doing so much already, and I was trying to do that on top of it. And he really pushed me. But you know what? Sometimes having deadlines and getting pushed is what you need. I learned a ton. I am in the process of launching a store. I have a store that's already up. I tested it out. I just got some product in from China from my shipper, and I'm excited to get that updated and test that out in the coming days. So I will keep you guys updated on that and also do a separate video on that. So where am I now and how much further do I have to go? You know, I don't have all the money. It was a little over $500,000 from the sale. And I don't say that to brag, but here's the thing. You've got taxes. You've got lawyer fees. You have broker fees. And these aren't small amounts. I mean, you're talking, you know, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 and all these different fees that add up very quickly. And then not including the taxes, which are $100,000 plus, right? So don't think you just take that money and get it. It's like anything else. You hit the lottery, right? And say you get half, right? So Uncle Sam gets their cut. All the different people involved get their cut, and that's how it is. So I'm not starting from a place of a ton of money, but I have a good amount of money free. A lot of people that have hundreds of thousands of dollars have that tied up maybe in their 401k, where you can't just readily access it. Maybe they have it tied up in a mutual fund, whatever the case may be. In my situation, I don't have it tied up. I have it free because I want to be able to utilize it. So yeah, I need to basically, I almost want to kind of start from zero, but I have the funds to build it. I want to be open about that, which is why I'm able to do so many things at once. But so many of these things I'm doing, you can do without much money at all. So I'll talk about that in each one of these videos. So this is where I'm at, Project 1M. This is where I want to go to the 1 million in total profit and total net worth, right? So that is my goal, and I hope you guys follow along with me. And as you can see, I'm into so much now that I really want to tackle it from many different avenues. Some people might say this is too much, concentrate on the thing you're good at, and I do agree with that on a large level. But now that I've I don't want to say I've mastered one of them, Amazon, but I have other people that kind of do the other things for me. Like eBay, I don't have a huge part in that. I have virtual assistants that do a lot of that. And I have a partner that has a system that you can kind of plug your store into. So I don't have to donate too much of my time on that. I want to have a system of people that can do that for me. And that's kind of the goal with Facebook Marketplace I want to get to. But you do have to have a basic understanding of the foundation of how it works. And I believe I have that in a lot of situations. I'm still learning. Every day I'm learning new stuff. So yeah, this kind of spreads you thin, but keep in mind I have people in the background that can help me with a lot of this stuff. So it's not just me doing everything. And that's something that's important to understand. You can't do it all. You do have to delegate. You have to create a team of good people, a team of associates, people you trust, and people that can take you further, that are better at doing what they do than you are. And maybe you can help them with what you do. So good things to keep in mind. At any rate, guys, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, fbacommute@gmail.com. Please comment and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And I'll be try to bring you new videos here all this week and next week as we go down the list and continue towards our goal for Project 1M. Have a great day and a great night. Thanks, and God bless everybody.